Hello, kindred spirit, and welcome back to Tea Time with a Medium. And in today's reading, we are doing Finding Love, Advice to Find Your Life Partner. And to do this, we're going to be picking 3 piles together. That's 1, 2, and 3. So let's see what we have for number 1. Pile 1 is choice. Sometimes in life comes a time when we need to make a choice. Mars in Libra. So that's pile 1. Pile 2 is control. In life, we also need control. Jupiter in Capricorn. And pile 3, we have Fortune, Sun in Leo. Lucky in love, perhaps. Unlucky in love, happens to all of us. So I know some of you like to choose with the gemstones, so let me add them now. Ta-da! Just like magic. So for pile 1, we've got Unakite. Unakite supports the heart chakra and the third eye chakra, and it helps to give you a sense of grounded inner strength, trusting yourself to establish healthy boundaries. We all need to establish healthy boundaries. That is the key, or one of the keys, to finding love. We also have Howlite associated with the crown chakra, being able to receive divine guidance. I associate this with the unbearable lightness of being, connecting to the spiritual realm. Howlite. And finally, turquoise. The throat chakra, helping to amplify your intuition and imagination by helping you to communicate what you know. So that's pile 3. All right, so take a look at which one of these piles or 3 gemstones that you are most drawn to. And as I always love to encourage you, if you're drawn to more than one, that's okay. You can watch the first one that you're drawn to and then come back and watch the second one, because you never know. That second or third pile will likely have a solution to the issue that you are dealing with right now. And it could be that you might have an issue that you've set aside and it's not at the front of your mind, but maybe in the back of your mind. And one of these piles could help you unlock that key solution for you in finding your life partner. So let your intuition guide the way, whether you're drawn to one or to several or all of them. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your reading. Hello there, kindred spirit. You have chosen pile 1. Come on into the tea room and have a seat. You chose the Unakite for heart chakra and third eye chakra, grounded inner strength. Let's set that aside. And you also selected choice. All right, so let's take a look at where you've come from, where you are now, and advice for moving forward. And before we dive into this reading, I do want to select an oracle card for you to unlock the magic. Actually, I feel like it's two, so I'm going to set these two aside and I will turn them over at the end to unlock the magic and the core meaning of your reading today. All right, so what I feel here in the total energy of this spread is that where you are now, Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, you've been quite diligent in terms of your growth process and attending to your emotional as well as material needs. I feel as though you have made an effort in taking care of your body right now. You are at a place where you can feel much more secure and at peace and comfortable with your body. Look at how this woman is in an apple tree, and she is dressed as if she's been tending to her garden. And this rake here is her tool. She has been taking care of her body, her tree. And she's now at the top of the tree, able to survey the progress, the land that she's cared for, to get perspective. This is a wonderfully dynamic card, though it is the pentacles or the discs. It is a grounded card. 7 is a nice dynamic number for change to come. So this, I feel, is where you are now. And with Ace of Swords, you are definitely in a place to be ready to initiate plans and strategies for love and finding your life partner. So I think that you are in a great place of departure, and I want to see where you came from. Previously, in your love life and in your adventures of love, we have the Magician and Queen of Pentacles. That could be read several different ways. So let me narrate this for you. The Magician is someone who has at their disposal the elements, the earthly elements, the spiritual elements, fire, earth in the plants, water, as symbolized by this beautiful waterfowl. Is it a swan? And air, which is the butterfly, symbol of metamorphosis, freedom, being sociable. So the Magician, that's her, is a symbol of being able to wheel and deal, perhaps ostentatious, showing off that which you have to present to others. It can also suggest someone that is perhaps a little too much surface, not enough depth. So I feel like this card next to Queen of Pentacles symbolizes that in the past, either you have been very protective of yourself. You have been showing people this aspect of yourself, and ooh, look at this aspect, and isn't this shiny, as a way to distance yourself from people. It's a self-protective measure. Of course, we all understand and have experienced that, absolutely. The reason why I suggest that that could be the case for you, pile 1, is that the Queen of Pentacles is here. The Queen of Pentacles is a beautiful energy of someone who's very aware of what she offers, very aware of her physicality, how to take care of her body, very determined to make sure things go the way that she believes that they should go. She's very grounded, very connected to nature. Look at these little bunnies, a sign of cyclical fertility with this beautiful skirt made of tulips. So in tune with the seasons. However, because I see the two of these cards here, the Magician and the Queen of Pentacles, and I see the transition into what you are now, this could go two ways. Either you have been showy in the past and guarded yourself, or you have guarded yourself and or maybe given yourself up to partners who are a little less than worth your time. Let's put it that way. So I do feel like there has been a progression here. If you fall into the camp of someone who has been giving too much of yourself, time, energy, and your resources, especially financial resources, letting someone live in your home without paying rent, or buying people groceries, your ex or your ex-partner groceries when they really should have been out taking care of themselves, but somehow they found a way to convince you, because they're very agile, charismatic, to take care of them. But I do see that you have moved into a phase where you're learning to take care of yourself and you are ready to move out onwards and upwards. Let's take a look at what is possible for you and what advice there is for you, considering where you've come from and where you are at now. So I love that I see King of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Queen of Wands. Ooh, yeah, baby. You are ready to be the executor of your love life. You are ready as the King of Swords here. Totally in control. Looks like this is a samurai in Japanese culture. They have a life that aligns with a code of conduct, an extreme code of conduct. So perhaps this card is here saying, yes, you are ready. You are ready to charge forth, take control, and to live out your strategies for bringing that life partner into your life. However, remember that sometimes things don't go the way that you hope, and that we need to be a little bit more flexible. I know that in the past where you've come from, perhaps you feel like your partner didn't quite show up for you. And I feel like this blackbird here is a little bit of the past clouding the vision. So if we can have this blackbird fly away and we can begin to trust again and to see the world with both eyes without any interference, I feel like the King of Swords energy here can really work for you and bring you abundance in love. With King of Swords next to Ace of Pentacles, there's this energy of this sword here cutting through and pruning the garden, the trees, so that there can be new life, a new beginning. Ace of Pentacles is a new start, and a good start. Look at how she has these beautiful ferns in her hand, and they're coming up into this, through this crack here, so that love can blossom anywhere, in the places you least expect. So it's possible that this card is indicating that what is the potential energy coming in here for you is that love you'll find where and when you least expect it. Even in the little darkest crevices and cracks where you think the sun don't shine, well, there is still life there. And enjoy it. Things will not happen rapidly. Very rarely do they happen rapidly. Even love at first sight takes time and nurturing to grow. Here with Five of Wands is very interesting. Five of Wands is a very dynamic card, and it typically will refer to a situation in which you'll have to fight. There will be some kind of struggle. However, because we set the intention for advice to find your life partner, I feel like this card is showing up here as a message to you to remember to negotiate. That in love, there are no losers. We are all winners, especially if we set the intention to work with our partner in the power of unconditional love. Love is love. All is fair in love and war. Look at her skirt. She is wearing this beautiful satin or silk pink, soft pink gown. And on her skirt, there is a chessboard. And in her left hand, the hand of the subconscious, typically the unconscious, she holds a piece very close to her heart. So that tells me that there's a message here for you to remember that that which you hold close to your heart, which you hold dear to you, yes, it should be protected, but we also need to take into consideration what the other person needs. To have an open, loving, flowing, communicative relationship with your life partner, we need to be aware of what their needs are, and there is a give and take. So this is a card of negotiation here for you, and this is what I feel. Especially if we consider the past and how much you have grown into the present. The past of perhaps giving too much, coming into the present and learning to self-love in a way to put yourself in the position of power and to start anew and to negotiate. Because as the Queen of Wands, you have a sense of desire. You have a sense of forward momentum. You are holding on to this sunflower. And the sunflower, it's a symbol of confidence, self-confidence, knowing that the wealth of your own loving abundance lives within you. And you're not afraid to show it because you've got this gorgeous peacock skirt. And you're going to show it off. You're ready to attract. You're ready to get out there. So it's really no wonder that you chose the Unakite. And the Unakite is all about establishing strong boundaries. And I definitely feel that with the Queen of Pentacles here and the past as the Magician, whether that was you or the other person, or illusions, living into illusions, you are ready as the Queen of Pentacles, growing into Seven of Pentacles, to really establish and share the self-care, the self-love that you have practiced from moving from the past into your present moment. Ace of Swords, yes, great initiative, planning. King of Swords, the executive decision-making ability that is there, ready to clear the air, to clear the fields, to till the soil. You have tools. You have tools to begin anew, Ace of Pentacles. You know how to negotiate now because we are, you know how to negotiate now because we are not doing that anymore. We are not doing that. We're not giving it away. And we are knowing what we're worth, knowing how our loving creativity can generate the warmth of love, the confidence to share it with others. And yes, this oracle card you chose of choice absolutely ties into all of this spread here. We all have a choice. We can choose to keep it to ourselves and never love again, or we can choose the right partner, the right conditions. We can choose the right practice of self-love for ourselves so that we can amplify this energy of unconditional love for ourselves and bring and attract that which we wish for and hope for. And going the distance for ourselves will allow for that to happen. Look at this cheetah moving so fast across distance into the future. It is not a race against time, because love is timeless. Real love, unconditional love, is boundless. And I feel like this is what this card is here to say to you. Go the distance. Go to places where you have never been before, because this card next to this card, Seven of Pentacles, you are ready to do that. Let's unlock the key, the second key. Mending, absolutely. Mending, and mending begins with loving the self. How can we merge with another unless we are able to mend our own wounds and to really understand what the divine guidance is trying to speak to us, trying to help us to amend, to bring together, to heal. This is a healing card. And I do feel that you've done quite a great deal of healing for yourself in your life, and that you are due a life partner. And what's really important to remember here is that no one will complete you. You have done quite a lot of work in terms of getting the ground ready for the new seeds and getting ready to negotiate what it is that you really, really want in your life, using the magician energy of creative wheeling and dealing for good. And the good will be for the purpose of making the right choices for yourself in spaces that perhaps you were staying away from. New spaces with new tools, ready to sprout new blossoms of love. So kindred spirit of pile 1, I hope that was helpful for you. You've come a really long way, and you are in the right place to make choices. And I know that you will be able to actuate and harvest much of what you are due, all right? I truly hope that you've enjoyed that, and if you have, do give a thumbs up. I thank you for visiting us in the tea room today, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Hello, kindred spirit. Pile 2, you chose Howlite. Crown chakra and spiritual connection. You also chose control. Jupiter in Capricorn. So Jupiter, the planet of expansion and luck, and Capricorn, an earth sign. Ambitious, concerned with recognition and also meeting your goals. Capricorns do work hard, so let's set that aside. And let's take a look at what the Oracle has in terms of advice to find your life partner. So 2 of Cups for obstacles overcome, King of Wands. Oh, where you are now, Tower and Death. I love it. And some advice for moving forward. And before we dive into these narratives here, I'm going to choose an oracle card for you here. And I'm going to set that aside and turn it over at the end so that we can use it as an activation card to unlock the core message of this reading. All right, so what I see here, what you've overcome with Two of Cups and King of Wands. If we're looking at Two of Cups as a card that signifies mutual adoration, unification, agreements, contracts between two people, what does that mean if this is something that you've overcome? Okay, I think I do understand with King of Wands here. King of Wands is an energy of forward momentum, someone who knows what he wants and is willing to go after it. So if we have Two of Cups, which is the energy of affirmation through partnership, and King of Wands, I feel like you've overcome a situation, a relationship, an experience in which you perhaps gave to the other person and thought that you were having an experience of mutual reciprocity. You thought you were looking at yourself in the mirror, but it seems that this other person, this other energy, had their sights set on something else, because look at the way that he's moving away from the energy of union, the energy of reciprocity and mutuality. So I feel like you've overcome a situation in which you thought that you were locked in or linked in to an engagement or a relationship, and the other person actually had their sights set somewhere else, either on someone else or they were busy doing something else. Their energies were directed elsewhere. That's what I see as something you've overcome. Now, it is also possible that you are this energy. Perhaps you have recently left a relationship in which the other person was seeking that mutual reciprocity, that union, and you decided that it just was not your cup of tea. All right. So that is the past. What I'm seeing now in the present is a complete change, a sudden shift with the Tower here. Oh my goodness, I think are there two cards stuck together? I feel like there are two cards stuck together here. Okay, how interesting. I did shuffle these, trust me, I did shuffle these. So we have the Tower, the Star, and change. And you know, as a medium, I tell everybody there's no such thing as death. Death is simply one door closing and another door opening. It is a point of transition. So we have a sudden ending, chaos, with Star, which is blessed insight, along with death, a brand new beginning. Let's think upon that energy for a moment, shall we? So right now, you are experiencing a reawakening, and in that reawakening, you are able to receive divine guidance, messages from up above that are meant just for you. Now, how you're going to process those messages because of the Star here in this beautiful temple, this fairy with a wand and a star atop of the wand sits. And this fairy is up in the celestial ecosystem in which she is dancing with the orbs. She has a direct access to the workings of divine law. And perhaps now you feel that you are in total chaos or upheaval in terms of love, trying to attract the right partner. But I assure you that this moment in time is exactly where you need to be. And perhaps you may not feel like going out and hunting down your life partner. Perhaps you don't feel like getting dressed even to go out there to attract your life partner. But with the Death card here, know that change is afoot. See how she has a beautiful garden scene beneath her rib cage. So there is something within that is blooming, and what is within that's blooming is a white lily. And white lilies are traditionally the flower of, yes, death, but also peace and solitude and contentment. So it's possible that you are going through a metamorphosis. You see this blue butterfly here atop the lily? You are going through a metamorphosis right now. And this is exactly what needs to happen for you. This is an organic process, just like death. Death is an organic process. No one can elude death or escape it. We all go through it. Know that you are not alone in this. So it feels fresh to me what you've been through, and if time has passed, I do feel like this wound for you is in the present moment something you are experiencing. And I want to also connect that the howlite stone that you chose of divine illumination is resonating with the star here. So hold on to this energy of spiritual insight as you move through this process, because the cards are showing us advice for moving forward. We have Empress, which is productivity, Three of Pentacles, which is continuing to build with the things that you already have, and seeing a product, seeing fruition, but gradual fruition. Queen of Cups, which is being emotionally open, emotionally receptive, and able to care and give care as well. Three of Swords shows us that we have to let go. We have to let go of past pain. See how the heart is a rose, and in the center we have 3 arrows that have pierced the center of the rose, and around him seems to be this sort of desolate, barren garden that is also going through its own changes, its own cycle of death, rebirth, death, rebirth. He seems to be crying tears of blood. So we have 3 tears of blood and 3 arrows piercing the heart of the rose. I feel like this red rose here, pink rose here, is a symbol of your eternal ability to bloom. Roses are beautiful. They are a sign of love. They are a sign of eternal beauty. And it seems to be actually quite healthy, even though it's being pierced. Every rose has its thorn, is a saying that we often use. With this card showing up in the advice line, the totality of the guidance for you moving forward to find your life partner is to know that you will be fruitful no matter what. Whether you seek to be fruitful or you decide that you're going to go out there and avail yourself, make yourself available. The Empress shows productivity, and it shows that there's going to be a birth. It's a beautiful card that signifies new life. There will be new life. Of course, there will be. New life follows all death, all transition. I want to mention that perhaps because this is here as well, this is signifying that in the past, it could have been that there was this union that was too much. Maybe there was too much time spent together. There was emotional smothering. There was maybe a little bit of codependency where you gave something because you decided that that person should have given it back to you. or vice versa, and that there was a sense of resentment because you didn't get it back. Whatever that was, we are being asked to love with detachment here with the Empress, to love unconditionally, because true love that is unconditional expects nothing in return. I'm not saying to let people walk all over you. That is very clear here with Three of Pentacles, Three of Swords. That is not the advice. The advice is to build on loving through detachment. So giving your love, but not expecting a specific outcome. To be open to the ebb and the flow. We have Queen of Cups here. Queen of Cups here is holding this seahorse, and I believe that seahorses mate for life. And I want to also say that the male seahorse takes care of the eggs and carries them. So Queen of Cups showing up here in this way, in this particular line, tells me that things will have a revolution. Things will be overturned, and you will begin to experience love and finding your partner in a completely different way, so long as you remember we need to let go of the past. We need to come to this search for our life partner in a way that's completely new. You are being asked to let go, to receive divine guidance, to do things in a completely new way with death here, because something new, the Empress, something new is being reborn, and you're going to be working toward that nail by nail. We have parrots here helping this young woman to build a flower out of bricks. And that is exactly what you were being asked to do. That from something very, very hard, bricks, we're going to construct something very, very delicate and beautiful. So it could be that you are like a brick house. And we are working on becoming more emotionally fluid, being able to give and to receive, but also to keep in mind of, yes, we suffered pain, absolutely. We all go through that. I don't think there's anyone on earth that has never experienced heartbreak. However, it's important to realize what we can control, what is necessary to control, and what is necessary to let go of. Capricorn is work. Where are we going to put in our efforts so that we can really experience the fruits of our labor? What is worth controlling? And you hear the word control freak, right? I want to remind you that control is not necessarily a bad thing. Controlling makes us feel safe. For others, it may be an obstacle, but hey, if they're going to stick around and they're really for you, then they're going to have to be flexible and adapt, right? Because you have adapt and now you need to feel safe. That's perfectly fine. So let's unlock the key to finding your life partner in this card. Exchanging gifts. How beautiful. So that is the theme here, exchanging gifts, being able to give and to receive. We cannot control what others are able to give us, but it is through being open and yielding to that which they have to present to us, their heart, their affections, what they have to share with us, whether it's emotional, or if it's material or spiritual wealth that they're going to share with us. Maybe it's a smile. Being open to exchange is the key to unlock the magic of finding your life partner. So, kindred spirit, pile 2, I hope that was helpful for you. And if it was, do give a thumbs up and subscribe so you never miss any messages here in the tea room. Thank you for stopping by and sipping tea with us. And I wish you well and see you later. Welcome in, kindred spirits. You chose pile 3, which is turquoise, throat chakra, intuition, and living your imaginative life by expressing that which you receive as divine guidance. Let's put that aside. You also chose fortune, so are you feeling lucky here, or do you need a little bit of luck? Sun in Leo, magnanimous, luxurious, big heart, big aspirations. Let's set that aside. And so the oracle is going to tell us the advice that you need to hear today to find your life partner. We're going to be taking a look at the obstacles that you have overcome. The Hierophant, 10 of Wands. And your current situation, that which you have to work with, 9 of Wands and 10 of Cups. And also the advice for moving forward to find your life partner. Here we go. And before we dive in, I'm going to choose Oracle card. This one is calling to me for you. And I'm going to set that aside and use it as the key to unlock the core message, to activate the magic in your reading, and to help you move forward in finding that partner. So it looks like what you have recently overcome, or in the past overcome, you've overcome a period of learning, a great deal of learning. With Hierophant, 10 of Wands, I'm being shown that you've also been overburdened by this learning. You've been overburdened by some kind of deep lesson. However, because you've done the work, you have carried all of the tulips, the roses on your back. You have worked until your fingers were raw. And you're also working barefoot. What did you do with your shoes? Ouchies. So 10 of Wands typically shows a kind of exhaustion in terms of having to bear too much, doing too much. You are overloaded by your tasks, and you're doing it so repetitively that you're not even aware of your tiredness. You just keep going. But this is something I see that you have overcome, and you've learned a great deal from it with the Hierophant. And moving into what you have to work with now, you have 9 of Wands. I'm understanding that with 9 of Wands, you are determined. There is a persistence here to move forward. I don't feel like you've completely left behind this burden or this experience. I feel like you're still just coming out of it, but you're able to see the light because 10 of Cups is also here. 10 of Cups is a beautiful card that signifies emotional abundance. It signifies unity, and it signifies taking care of each other. Just immense, immense cup runneth over feeling of 10 of Cups. This mermaid kelp woman here has all of her little seaweed leaves or tentacles in the sea here, and she's caring for these 10 little fish. So there's a sense of protection here, being able to protect your family, feeling protected, feeling emotionally safe. This couple is looking off into the distance to this beautiful prism of light, which we call a rainbow. So there's definitely right now the great potential, if you don't already have it, the great potential for union, unity in an abundant sense. I do feel, though, that with the 9 of Wands here, perhaps there is a situation in which you are willing to surrender certain needs in order to get this feeling of 10 of Cups. So I see 9 of Wands as either reinforcing your persistence and endurance in gaining or attaining this emotional satisfaction, But I also see a word of caution here for endure we must, absolutely, but do not give up what you need. You have deal breakers. We all do. So keep those in mind. What are you willing to negotiate on, and what are you not willing to move on? Because those are the things that you absolutely need to grow, like this rose here. You cannot surrender that. Absolutely not. Because if you did, you wouldn't be able to give and receive protection. Because how can you receive an abundance of emotionality and support if you're not able to give that to yourself? Because in giving it to yourself is when we truly understand what it feels like to be supported. You have to support yourself in order to really be open to another partner. You have to be content with yourself. We cannot look to another person to fill that void, to fill that need. That is where you've just come from. So we are moving out of that. So use that as a productive energy to continue moving forward as you attract, as you sustain this relationship potentially that you have with someone you think that could be your life partner. So the advice moving forward: Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords, Two of Wands, Six of Wands. Okay. I'm seeing that you are ready to get going. You are gathering all the evidence to make sure that this is the right move for you, because Two of Wands shows that there is a contemplation, a time to make decisions, to think about which way to go. Six of Wands is an expectation to receive recognition and appreciation. I think that you don't want to mess this up. I think that you feel that you've come so far in the past from this learning, and that you are working so hard persistently to endure through the trials and tribulations of trying to find your life partner, that there is an enthusiasm to go forth and attract them, but there's also a sense of calculated risk. Yes, Knight of Wands, Queen of Swords together, I feel is an energy of calculated risk. And I think that that's absolutely 100% what you should be using right now in terms of the energy that is available to you, because you are holding the world in your hands and looking off to the moon for inspiration, and you are dreaming, and it's great to manifest. I feel like you are in a moment of manifesting here. Two of Wands. With Six of Wands, I know I'm supposed to talk about you receiving the recognition, you getting the admiration that you deserve because you've worked for it. We see a woman here, she's riding a hummingbird and using the flower here as a little carrot to ease the hummingbird along with nectar. Oh, okay. The advice here is that you can get more with honey than with vinegar. Don't exactly know how that saying goes, but if you know it, you know what I'm talking about. Sweetness attracts sweetness, and vinegar will attract flies. I think that that will be enough to convey the message that I'm trying to let you know the cards are saying to you. And tying this all in together, you chose the Fortune card. I do feel like you're feeling lucky. I do feel like you have the enthusiasm and the fixity of Leo in order to really burst through and make this situation happen for you. So hold on to that light, hold on to the energy and the confidence that you're working with now, because you have come a long way. Now let's turn over this key card and take a look at how we're going to activate and unlock the core message here. And it's the Peace card. So I do want to talk about peace as an inner state. Once you've attained this inner state of peace, you can share it with others. It is something that you can offer others to attract them and to bring them toward you. The law of attraction works such that you will receive what you put out there. And if you work on yourself to achieve an inner state of peace, then you will absolutely be able to attract that for yourself. I also feel that this card has shown up here as if to congratulate you for all the work that you have done, the knowledge you have gained. Knowledge can give us a great deal of peace. And I feel that it's saying, next to the Nine of Wands, that perhaps what you are struggling to do right now, if it feels like it's too hard, then you just take a break. This peace is an inner state of abundance. It is your fortune. It is something that should be treasured. And we're not going to give that up. No, we're not, because you have learned that much. You have learned that it is so important. I do feel like this is the card that's saying, this is what you've learned. This is what you have. So long as you can keep your own peace and sustain that equilibrium, because peace is always moving. There's this dove that's carrying the olive branch and it's flying over this delicate egg, over this vast field. Peace is always moving. It is a constant negotiation. So I feel that you will get what you are seeking, what you are working toward. You have extreme persistence and endurance here. And the cards are simply just saying to you that to find your partner, you can stick with it. But the toil of the past is not going to be what is ahead, because you have achieved, you've come to a certain level where you don't have to push so hard anymore. You don't have to jump through the hoops anymore. They're not that difficult at the very least. You are sitting atop of this hot air balloon and you're able to look over, see off into the distance to achieve your goals. And of course you chose turquoise. Being able to translate your intuition into a real life. Being able to manifest your imagination, that which you see within, to bring it into fruition without, into the world, and to enjoy the sweet, sweet nectar of following that intuition, having put in that work in the past. So, kindred spirits of pile 3, I hope that was helpful for you. And if it was, please do give a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so that you never miss any messages here in the tea room that are meant just for you. Thanks for sipping tea with us, and I'll see you later.